Welcome back to another episode of The Hardcore Casual with your boy, Bass the Kid. As always, please like and subscribe, share with a friend, a colleague, a relative, an associate, an enemy, any and all in between. It is appreciated. As you guys can see, I'm currently on location. I'm at the live Gloves Are Off between Joshua Bawatsi and Dan Aziz at Box Park in Wembley. But as I didn't get to do my video yesterday, I decided it was about time that I got one out for the week prior to Bass's Picks, which is coming up tomorrow. I'm hoping I won't get flagged on this video because look, there's music going on around me. I'm going to try to put my own music underneath to see if that can maybe mitigate some of it. But yeah, hopefully I don't get flagged on the on your copyrights and that. But with that being said, there's a few things I want to talk about, so let's get into it. So the first thing I kind of got to highlight is yesterday the promo video for Fury versus Usyk came out, and yeah, look, with regards to the Saudis, they are up in the levels when it comes to their production. The trailer's epic. I mean, I thought that their Reckoning one, was pretty solid. I thought that the Battle of the Baddest one was pretty good. But no, this one, I definitely think is the best one thus far. The narration, like, it looks like proper cinema level quality trailers. Like, these trailers that you'll see on YouTube for the big feature films. I was thoroughly entertained watching it. It's made me even more hyped for the fight, if that's even possible, because I was super hyped for it to begin with. But yeah, now it's like I'm even more psyched for it. Can't wait to see how it transpires, how it takes place. And definitely my prediction ain't changed, but yeah, my excitement level's gone up. If people were saying that there wasn't much buzz around the fight before, I don't think that's the case anymore. So on Monday, you had Shakur Stevenson throwing a bit of a hissy fit because Emmanuel Navarrete was sanctioned to take on Denis Berinchyk for the WBO lightweight title at 135 pounds. And off the back of that has, I guess, announced his retirement from the sport of boxing. Now he said, look, I'm gonna be in the gym, always perfecting my craft, helping the next level, the next step up, and the next people in the division. I'm gonna be there for them. But in terms of me, I'm tired of the boxing politics, X, Y, Z. Personally, now I don't understand what the issue is, if I'm totally honest with you, because let's be real, he's the WBC lightweight champion. You can't really get mandated to fight for a vacant title. I mean, it is possible that you can have vacant titles on the line, but there's a process in that. But ultimately, Emmanuel Navarrete is another top-ranked fighter. So if he wins that belt, then the theory should be you then get to, fight him for that title in the unification. Unless the issue is that he wanted Navarrete to come up and face him for his title, but Navarrete has been a free-weight WBO champion, so clearly he's going to carry on going for the belt that, leads him to that WBO. That they're the ones that have held him in high esteem for like the last 4 or 5 years. So why would he not stay loyal to them and go to pick up that vacant title and then fight you in a unification? But my suspicion as to why he's upset about this is because he knows, based on his last performance, it's going to be very hard for him to get certain people in the ring. And with Navarrete, if he wins that fight against Denis Berinchyk, he's more than likely then going to end up going to face Vasily Lomachenko or George Kambosos, depending on who wins that fight in May. Therefore, I guess leaving Shakur Stevenson out in the cold. So I think that's more what he's upset about, and he kind of knows that that's how things are going to happen and that's how the situation is going to work for him. But with regards to that, I mean, it's kind of his own fault. Look, at the end of the day, in his last performance, he made a very, very poor account of himself. It's not the first time he's done that, but even outside of that, you've been out shouting about how your contract's going to be up in, I think, September this year, and you're going to free agency. You're going to look around for the best deals. So why are top-ranked promoted fighters going to give you preference and leeway over other people when you've stated that you ain't even really sure if you're going to stick around with the company? Like, you've done all of the moves in the wrong possible way, and that's what's ultimately caused you to get screwed, if that's how you want to put it. Now, personally, I can understand his mindset and I can understand how he feels hard done by, but it was caused by yourself. You had the bad performance. You showed us, quote unquote, disloyalty to your promoter. So of course they're not gonna like try to give you the best, you know, the best opportunities at that particular time when they don't even know if they're gonna have you for the long run. And you're on a higher contract guaranteed to the point where maybe they don't want to invest that kind of money in you, knowing that your stock is down heavily after your last fight. Many different reasons, but in terms of the retirement, I mean, look, I think it's about as genuine as Teofimo's retirement and, you know, Tyson Fury's retirement. But let's see, you know, maybe he's just acting emotional, and maybe that's the reason. So if it's just an emotional thing, he'll get over it, he'll come back out, and then in his next fight, hopefully he'll have a show-stealing performance where he can actually let the people know, all right, look, I'm back, and all that stuff you lot was talking before, like, talk to me nicely now, innit? That's how I kind of see it. Let me know how you guys think in the comment section below. So, in an absolutely hilarious turnaround, Ryan Garcia has now come out and essentially said that Floyd Mayweather was the reason he stopped negotiations on the Devin Haney fight earlier on this month, citing that he wanted to face Rolly Romero and that deal was looking likely to be in place for the 20th of April. The funny thing about all of that is, obviously, as we know, Rolly Romero ended up going to fight Isaac Cruz, which is going to be taking place on the 30th of March, and Ryan Garcia left that in the cold. And, you know, he said that, well, Floyd, you know, said, well, why don't you go fight Rolly first, get a belt, then go fight Devin? He's like, well, I mean, look, that makes sense, but ultimately, I've already told people that I'm going to fight Devin next. And he's like, yeah, well, things change. So Floyd Mayweather like put him out of position, took him out of position and put him in a worse financial state to Devin Haney, because before it could be like, well, I've got options, I can do X, Y, and Z. Now you've literally been ghosted by someone that's not even going to be the main event of their card. They're actually going to be on the undercard, you know, in that chief support role. So it makes it look even worse on you and your sort of quote unquote star power and your drawing power. So with all of that, now it's a case of how does he respond? And ultimately, the best way for him to respond is to be humble. He's still probably going to have maybe A-side bidding or close to A-side bidding, but maybe the split that he was looking for before ain't going to be the same way. He's now admitted that he will go back to the Devin Haney negotiations. He said he's not going to talk too much in public, but it has, you know, they have reached out to try and reopen those, hopefully for a fight on the 20th of April or 420. Like, if you know, you know. Very significant time of year for quite a few people in certain communities. Look, with regards to that, I mean, look, sometimes you just gotta swallow your pride. You gotta take your medicine, and you gotta walk back with your tail between your legs. Because if it's not Devin Haney, who else is it gonna be? There ain't no one else that's gonna generate you the kind of money you're looking for, especially on the quote-unquote pay-per-view card that you did promise that you was gonna deliver at that time. So, yeah, sucks, but that's how it goes, isn't it? I'll be interested to see what happens moving forward. Let me know what you guys think about that. But yeah, Floyd pulled him out of position. Floyd did Floyd things, and it was, I guess it was funny to see, quite frankly. So, the Keith Thurman and Tim Tszyu press conference took place last night. I haven't watched it. I've heard some of the sound bites from Keith Thurman, and I'm gonna be real, from what I heard, it sounded extremely cringy. And also, he wasn't being a great advertisement for the United States of America educational system when he referred to Australia as an island, when it's actually a continent on the level of America. I believe it's actually bigger as an actual continent than the Americas are. So yeah, all of that is didn't make him look too great in particular form. But hey, I mean, look, it is what it is. I'm interested to see what happens there. You had Rolly on the undercard in the press conference, him and Lennon Ellaby talking about, yeah, no one ain't really worried about like Ryan Garcia and them, i.e. the DAZN platform. yeah, I need to see how this one's going to do on Amazon Prime, because I'm trying to work out how it's an Amazon Prime pay-per-view. You just signed this big deal with Amazon, yet you're not even having the press conference on your Amazon for people to see on the platform. It's actually taking place on your YouTube channel. The whole situation doesn't make a huge amount of sense to me. I'm gonna need to see how it plays out in future. But no, overall the cards here, I mean, I doubt it's going to be pay-per-view in the UK, but if it is, it's not getting my money. That's first and foremost. If it is a part of my Amazon subscription, then yeah, I'll check it out. But I still won't even be staying up for it. I'll wake up the following day, have a look, and I'll just do weekend wrap a little bit later. But yeah, outside of that, no real interest, but I thought I'd highlight it to anyone who did have any interest in that and the takes. And last, but by certainly no means least, the rumours are Canelo Alvarez is looking to take on Jermall Charlo in May and then Terence Crawford in September to complete his free fight deal with the PBC. Now, what's my thoughts on this? I always believed that the David Benavidez fight was supposed to be saved for September, so whoever he was looking to fight in May, initially a lot of the talk was that it would be Jaime Munguia, which I didn't have an issue with, especially after his great performance against John Ryder over the weekend. But look, with regards to that, here's what I'm going to say. The Crawford fight, I've actually said from the first time it was mentioned, when it was at the catch weight, the 158 catch weight, I was like, nah, not really feeling that one. But when it came to actually being, when he said, no, I actually got up to 168, I'll take that challenge. I was like, yeah, I'm on that, because like Terence Crawford is extremely strong. People don't realize how strong he is for such a small guy. And I feel like the size difference between the two of them isn't going to be that massive. Obviously, frame-wise, yeah, Canelo's has a bit of a thicker frame and whatnot, but Crawford is, yeah, like an unhumanly strong guy for his height, size. He's got that wrestling background, so he knows about moving weight around, manipulating weight. He's got the longer, he's the slightly taller, he's got the slightly longer reach as well. So he's got advantages on his side. He's got the speed as well. I really like that fight. So if that fight was to take place in September, I wouldn't have an issue. The Jermall Charlo fight, though, I do have an issue with that. I can't support that in any way, shape or form. I don't know who you get as a replacement. I would much rather have the Crawford fight in May, and then if you get through Crawford, then you do Benavidez in September. That's what I would rather prefer. Or do Benavidez in May and then Crawford in September if you get through Benavidez. If you don't get through Benavidez, have the rematch if that's what you're going to do. Now look, Canelo's got enough cachet that he can kind of do what he wants without really getting criticised too much, because ultimately he can't take on everyone. But the problem is, because he is the meal ticket, there's still going to be people that are waiting for him and they're going to not fight each other because they're waiting for that Canelo meal ticket. He needs to take that away from them and lock in his plans from now. This is my fight now. As soon as I get through this one, if everything goes well, this is who I'm fighting there. Make sure and then say, and after that, I'm going to be done. So at least that way, the rest of the company, the rest of the division can kind of get back, sort of get back to some kind of normality. But if he is going to just kind of go on this almost like this, I guess this world tour of mediocrity, if we're going to call it that, I would much rather see him retire than just go down the road of fighting nondescript opponents, or release the belts and then just become like a star attraction, like down the line, just do things of that nature. That's what I would rather prefer, because I feel like there's certain people that he's going to be allowing to fight for undisputed titles that don't deserve it. Jermall Charlo doesn't deserve an undisputed crack of any note. I mean, Jermall Charlo, there was more of a case because he had been undisputed. He had done that, but he'd been out of the ring for so long. David Benavidez, I don't think he's any great shakes, but he's done enough to deserve a shot back at his old title, at the very least. Jaime Munguia has, been a former champion, and at least he's been active, so that's fair enough. Terence Crawford definitely deserves that shot if he wants to take it, and like I said, I got no problems with that one at all. But in terms of like the other people, yeah, I can't really support that one for me personally. I don't know how you guys think. Let me know down in the comments below. But look, it's starting to get a bit busy here right now, so I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to cut it short. I'm going to be back tomorrow with Basis Picks. Also, hopefully I will have some more footage and stuff for you guys to review over the next couple of days. but we'll see where we get to with that. For right now though, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, comment especially, and it's the Hardcore Casual out.